Okay, so I wanted to do this video. So many people wanted to act like I, well, it wasn't so many people. It was just one person came to my channel and had some weird accusations. But I've had similar situations like this where people assume that I am trying to look a certain way or trying to be perceived a specific way. I think a big portion of it has to do with culture and the fact that I don't fit the cultural expectations that they generalize me to fall under. It's not just that though. It's a part of it though. A major thing that I notice with black people is that generally they have this issue with not with basically fitting together, okay? So between mixed and black people, they fit in quite well together. And the reason they do is because, well, they look very similar. And I am showing that in my slideshow. People like me, we don't have such commonalities. We share skin tones commonalities. We share the fact that our heritage is from Africa commonalities. We do not share commonalities on culture. We do not share commonalities in features, facial features. And a major reason for that is just a matter of chance, a matter of genetics. I have said in the past about my mixed ancestry that I am 50% black in some areas of my genome, and other chromosomes are 100%. It depends on the chromosome. And as you can see on my jet later on in the slide, you'll see that in some parts it's actually 44%, and in other parts it's like 96%. I just round it to 100% because why not? Somebody tried to claim it was like 97% black that I was, and I'm like, I can't find on any of my chromosomes that I'm 97% black, but if I was, I would show you. But as you can see, there is no such thing. A major thing for my mixture is actually being Northeast African. That's another thing. A lot of black Americans are mixed with English and European. I am not mixed with that. I'm more mixed with Egyptian. As 23andMe actually specifically gives me that as my mixture is North African heritage, Egyptian heritage. They call it Levantine, Arab, or Egyptian, and they specifically pinpoint it to Egypt. On GEDmatch, they say Northeastern Africa, which is Egypt, Red Sea, which is Egypt, and Eastern Mediterranean, which is Egypt again. So I fit in all those categories. And my percentage ranges on my chromosomes. I think the highest is like 19% or 16%, and the lowest is like a very small percentage. But anyway, point is, when you have different background, people don't relate to you as much, even if your majority of your heritage is the same. The thing that your secondary race is different, you'll be able to see difference in that person. Basically, just think of if somebody was mixed with Asian secondarily, and I'm on the. Hey, I'm just doing a video right now. Sorry. uh, so yeah, if you were mixed with Asian or someone was mixed with English or European, it would be different. You would have a different phenotype, and therefore you would be less relatable or more relatable, depending on if the secondary racial background is something that is relatable too. So, to me, I think that's a major problem that I find with a lot of people, and also down to, like I said, genetics. The fact that a lot of people often, get a little upset because you can be 100% black on some of your chromosomes, or very damn close to it, at the same time be 50% on another chromosome, or even less than that. For example, my father was 100% African on some of his chromosomes, I assume. Maybe. I'm not really sure. But I would assume, because I'm close to 100%, so I'm assuming he's close to 100% too, right? Either way, you know, some of his chromosomes were much less than 40% black, uh, while others were very close to 100, or maybe even close to 90% at least. And I think that's just the game of being a multi-generational mulatto. That's what my father was. My father's mother was Creole and Cajun, and my father's uh, father was Hispanic descent. And I don't know, like I said, in my experience in my life, it's always been where it's not just black people, because people always try and say dark skinned black people are the ones trying to single you out. It's always been black people who single me out. It could be dark skin, light skin, and it's what's most hurtful for me was always people who are your own color singling you out. Like, that's even more upsetting, because they're your own thing and they're still singling you. You can't blame it on your skin tone anymore. Like, you literally can't. Um, that's the thing. This is not far from what I experience on the day to day with white people, specifically. The type of racism I've experienced with white people is usually I being a foreigner, not really actually being black American. And, you know, it's nothing shocking for me, because my mother is sometimes perceived by white people as a foreigner, not actually of black American ancestry. So, I mean, the type of racism that I've experienced sometimes it's had to do with being of Middle Eastern descent, or being Asian descent, even. Uh, but, you know, I've never tried to claim any of that stuff, because that's just stupid to me. Because, I mean, like, my family is black American. My mother's family is black American. My father's family, like I said, he comes from mixed ancestry, and I admit that, and I've never lied about that or anything. It's just what it is. If you look at all my chromosomes, for example, and you add it up and you divide it, you're going to end up with like 76% black. So, if you think of it, I'm pretty much even on how I'm basically 50% of somebody who's like multiracial, I guess you could say, black person and a person who is black, which my mother is very, 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 very close to 100% black. So that's just what it is. I don't really have much else to say to that. I mean, it is what it is. Um, I wanted to come across the point where people were talking about me trying to be like other people who are mixed or something, or trying to look like people who are mixed. I'm like, I just want to show you. When I get myself all done up, and this is not even extensive. I don't even have fake lashes on, and I don't even think I have contour on. Most of these photos that I'm showing you are not with contour or anything. Definitely, there's no filter on these photos at all. I'm not filtered any photo. I know people keep wishing that I had a filter. If you look at my face, it's literally the same. It's just I changed my hair. But if you look at my face is the same. I think a big problem is this. A lot of mixed race people and black people like to get jealous of facial things, because their facial features are very similar, as I am showing. Mixed people and black people have the same face. Their skin tone, their eyes, their hair, that's what puts them apart. But their features, it's just like Asian people, when they mix with white people, usually their features are very similar. So, I mean, that is specifically not something I'm trying to like or anything of that nature. I mean, like, honestly, for me, I benefit from not looking like you guys, and you can see who I do look like in these photos, especially when I'm just doing simple makeup routines with just some lipstick and some eyeliner on and black hair. Black hair does a lot, too, for me. And my hair's not naturally black, it's naturally a light sandy color. And it does dye in the summertime. It gets a little bit lighter and then it gets a little bit darker in the winter. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to look like. I mean, like, I guess you could say I do try to make myself look a little bit more African, but as you can tell, I don't look more African than either of you. That's the main thing with mixed black people. It's like sometimes I feel like they often try and act like towards me, like I'm supposed to look more black than them. And it's like, I don't control who looks like what in my genes or what they are. You know, it just took one, I guess, set of chromosomes to make me look 50-50. Well, you know, you have a whole set of 23, 50% black and white chromosomes, and you still look more black than I do. It's just what it is. It's not anything I can control. It is what it is, you know. And it's not even anything bad, honestly. I think that many people who have African features are very beautiful. You know, I think they're more ideal. With that said, as far as beauty and things of that nature, as far as standards, well, you could see also that part too. The most beautiful women that are mixed race or associated with mixed race people, like Halle Berry or Beyonce, are only sevens. Only sevens. Best. And, you know, I don't have any makeup on and I'm like an 8.6. So, um, why would I be jealous? Like, yeah, make it make sense, sweetie. Okay. So, yeah, that's just generally how I feel about the situation. With me, who I relate to the most is usually like East African women, honestly. And then I have some North African and Arab ancestry as well. Kind of mixture like that. Like, I just think this is one major thing for me. You can't expect me to be wanting to be something that's jealous of me. And in my experience, it's always been the ones who say you're fake are always the ones who are jealous and wish they had what you have. That's why they say it's too good to be true. So, I mean, how can the one who's already deeming that they're less value and they're less attractive than you be the thing that you want to be? You know, like, I mean, let's lose just a little bit of logic. It will let you know that obviously you've let me know that there's nothing that you have that I should want to have. Fortifying me and preferring what I have personally. But, um, yeah, that's basically all I have to say on that. I mean, no, I've never had any desire to be more white looking or anything. I look like what I look like. And what I really care about is being pretty. That's what I care about. I like to look pretty when I want to be pretty. Some days I just don't give a fuck. But I like to just, you know, do my makeup, look nice, things like that. I'm not trying to, you know, make distort my features or anything in some weird way or anything like that. So, um, that's about it in this video. I think I've touched upon everything in this video. Oh, somebody, like I said, somebody thought that I said that I was 50% black without admitting that I had the other stuff in my heritage. Like I said, when you're a multi-generational mixed person, the chromosomes are 50% on some, like you see, and then others it's 100%. Some are 70, some are 60, some are 80, some are 90. Um, I could leave a link in the description. It'll show you basically how multi-generational mixed people work, basically, and why it's ranging like that. But that's how my chromosomes look, and that's how my DNA is. I would say generally that's why I always say my mom's black, my dad's mixed, and that's me. So yeah, I've never lied about any of that. It is what it is. I think it's hard to understand if you don't understand the science of like genetics and all that stuff, which is honestly hard for me to understand too. But I mean, like since I have it, I kind of like looked into it a little bit more than other people. So that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. If you have any other questions, just put some questions in the comments below so I can answer them on a future video. Thank you and bye. Okay, so I wanted to also add in a few other things. One specifically, obviously there's no filter, there's nothing that I'm doing to make myself look a certain way. I also wanted to point out that I find it just funny that there are so many different mixed women who try so hard to claim that other people are trying to look like them, who are white, who are black, whatever. But at the same time, they still can't have the features that they want because they're always heavily contouring their faces, dyeing your hair blonde, and straightening their hair in hopes that you can look like a tan white person. The problem is with trying to look like a tan white person, you actually need the white features in order to look like a tan white person. And the thing is about you is that everything that I've shown has shown you that you have the opposite of white people's features, and you actually have black people's features. The only thing difference between you and a black person is a hair perm, a slightly lighter skin tone, in some cases the same skin tone, and eyes that could also be attained by contacts. You see, you can't create a thinner nose outside of surgery. Your differences from black people are easy, quick fixes. You can make your skin look lighter just going outside. You can make your eyes lighter just by putting in some contacts. You can make your hair look straighter just by some kind of chemical treatment. It's not like your actual facial features, and this is why white people go off of your facial features, because those can't change, and that's specifically why white people are racist to you. Because they see your features. It doesn't matter what other colors you want to put with them, they still see your little round nose. It looks like it's shaped like Play-Doh. And they see your lips and your cheekbones, all soft round features. It's like a nice, soft, feminine structure. And I mean, I find it very ideal, but I do know it saves my butt every time when we're dealing with racism. It's fun when you come across a racist and they don't know where to place you, and you have to tell them that you're black so they can be racist to you. You, on the other hand, don't deal with that. You get called the N-word without anyone informing the races that you are black. It is what it is. Heck, anyway. I'm not saying I'm anyone who's like a white passing individual, and I'm gonna actually do a slideshow of white passing mixed people. And if I can find any white passing black people too, without exposing my family, because I do have white passing family members that are black and not mixed. But I'm not saying people like that, of course, they deal with it differently, and they don't get racism at all. They have a whole different perspective. I'm not saying that, obviously. I'm like that, of course. My perspective is like, well, it's funny when racist people start to be racist towards you for things that you are not or don't align with. Even if it's in your ancestry, as you can see, I do have Middle Eastern, North African bloodlines as my secondary race. But I mean, like, I don't align with them, and I'm supposed to come out as Muslim soon, and I'll explain everything on that because there's a component, because since I am Muslim, there's a component of me that always has had a strong American identity and hated the association of Middle Eastern people. But that's a whole nother story, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna do in this video, or talk about in this video. I just thought I would add another side note for all the people talking about basically my personal experience with being a multi-generationally mixed person. There's a phenotype that's more mixed looking than people who are actually directly mixed. And it's not my fault. Like I said, I didn't do any of this. I didn't create any of this. And I'm not saying that the way you guys are is unattractive. I'm just saying I understand my benefit and I rejoice in it. And this is exactly why I would never have kids with anyone that looks like you. If anyone pays attention, I don't just say color. I say specifically features are my problem and my concern. Actually, features are more my concern than skin tone. Skin tone is just a preference when it comes to having sex. I don't want to have sex with a man whose penis is very dark. That's not like, oh, my children situation. My children has to do with specifically not having facial features like yours. It is what it is. I mean, like, if people can go into slavery for 200 years because they had a flat, wide nose, who would want their kid to have a flat, wide nose for the small chance that that happens ever again? Just being completely honest. I mean, like, literally, you guys were in slavery and bondage not because of your skin tone, because there were Native Americans, there were Asians, there were Middle Eastern people, and so forth, who were your color and didn't have any of those problems. But you did because you had a flat, wide nose. So, I mean, like, I'm just saying, from my perspective, I would never want anything similar to you guys because, I mean, like, why? One, it's like you don't even have the beauty of dark skinned black people. Dark skinned black people, they have the beauty, the authenticity of their beauty. And I adore their looks. I do. You know me, I have my perception of them. But to me, I've always said it kind of feels like a knockoff. And that's the thing. That's why when I don't wear makeup, I kind of look like you guys, but not to the same extreme. Like my nose isn't all the way across my face. Okay. And my lips, honestly, aren't even all that full. But I try to make them fuller, honestly, because I don't like them being thinner. Because thinner lips look weird on a girl to me. Thin lips on a guy is good, especially when you're intimate with the man. But it's a whole different story, and we're not talking about what I like to do when I get down. My point is, with mixed and light skin ideals, I've always said this. there is no ideal. The ideal is to look as least black as possible, and that's your ideal. It's not authenticity, it's not beauty in who you are. There's no sense of beauty for being mixed. Beauty for not being as black as the next person. So, I mean, I understand that personally as someone who it doesn't fit into either category. But I do feel like having more not Eurocentric. I wouldn't say I'm Eurocentric, but like less. I guess you could say Negroid features. Um, benefit you sometimes because the end look right now is kind of like not having Afro features, which mixed people and black people have, and then they claim that people are trying to look like them when nobody's trying to tab your nose or cheekbones or lips or any of those features. They're just having a darker skin tone and, maybe like a little bit of nicer hair, basically. Curly hair, it's nice. You know how I see it. I'm a biased person. I think full lips are ideal too, you know me. Some people think like big lips aren't ideal, you know me. I think a lot of features, like I said, Lupita's look is ideal to me. That's just me. But I'm just saying, for these people, I don't think they're trying to look like Lupita. I don't think they're trying to look like Amandla Stenberg. I don't think they're trying to look like Samantha Logan, okay? They're not trying to look like black people. They are happy with their noses. They are happy with their cheekbones. They are happy with their eyes. You know, they're just trying to look a little darker and they're just trying to look pretty, basically, at the end of the day. And a lot of the time it seems like because mixed people want to have a certain look and black people want to have a certain look, they create this look in the mirror with makeup, with contour, and all this stuff, and try to act like, oh, so this is how I look when I wake up. Someone is mocking my look. No, they're mocking the look you made in the mirror with makeup, which they probably have more naturally than you do. So who are you to claim that anyone's trying to look like you? But that's not even the point of this video. The point of this video was to talk about my mixed ancestry. I'm just getting a little bit into the Iggy Azalea situation because I am a little flustered by that. I was flustered by it for a couple days, but I haven't been able